Something that people have been asking me to do for the last year and a half. Finally, it happened tonight. 8 p.m., I sat on my couch with a beer and I watched Lucha Underground for the very first time on the El Rey Network. This is your first official Lucha Underground Season 3, Episode number 3 review on YouTube.com. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Tonight, we are doing something for the very first time on this channel. We will be discussing and reviewing Lucha Underground. Now, it was just a few weeks ago in which we were all enjoying the Cruiserweight Classic and we were coming up to the finals. And I knew the Cruiserweight Classic was going to be ending. And obviously we seen that last week. TJ Perkins won not only the Cruiserweight Classic, but he was crowned the first Cruiserweight Champion of WWE's new era in 2016. I took a poll on Twitter asking which one of the new shows should I discuss weekly, because I want to fill Wednesdays with something, being that we don't have the Cruiserweight Classic anymore, at least until next year. So I asked, should I talk about TNA Impact on Thursdays, or should I go out of my way and find Lucha Underground by any means necessary to talk about that on my channel? Now, I didn't know that I had the El Rey Network. One of you guys in the comments section actually mentioned to me, JD, you stated that you have Verizon Fios. Verizon just added the El Rey Network on channel 198 here in New York City, and they added that in July. You do have the El Rey Network. You can watch Lucha Underground. You can review it if you so please. So I didn't know that. And here we are. Here we are. Lucha Underground for the very first time on this channel. Now, I do want to make this known to everybody. I am a noob. I don't know anything before, I should say, Season 3. I only know episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Season 3. I don't know what happened with Dario Cueto. I don't know how he got arrested. I don't know anything that happened in Season 1 or Season 2. I am going to try my very best. If you guys have any recommendations, I tried the Daily Motion thing. It sucks, okay? I tried watching it through my Xbox. It was a painful experience. There's a lot of bullshit on there. There's a lot of fucking fake videos on there that direct you to another website in which you have to sign up. I am not doing that, okay? Now, I did manage to squeeze in episodes 1 and 2 on Daily Motion right away. I got those commercial free and I enjoyed the fuck out of them, okay? Which I will talk about episode 2 here in a second, because you had Marty the Moth Martinez versus Killshot in one of the most craziest fucking matches I have witnessed in years on television. We'll talk about that in a second, because I wanted to talk about that somewhere on my channel, but I didn't have any time to, and I didn't know where I could fit it in. We're definitely going to talk about that. But I did catch up on episodes 1 and 2 of Season 3. So if you're a Lucha Underground veteran, you gotta excuse me. I don't know as much as you. I'm a Lucha Underground noob. You guys gotta help me. You guys gotta help me understand what is going on. If you guys want to fill me in on what the fuck I missed in Seasons 1 and 2 and why Dario Cueto was confronted by the Honky Tonk Man in episode 1 of Season 3 and why he was released from prison, why he got into a limousine and was confronted by Dr. Claw, apparently, of Inspector Gadget. I don't know. I don't know anything that happened there. So you guys got to fill me in. All I know is that Matanza Cueto and Dario Cueto are brothers, okay? Matanza is the Lucha Underground champion, and that's all I know, okay? I don't know anything at all, so you guys got to fill me in. But what I seen in the last couple of episodes, I honestly really enjoyed. I really did. And I will say this, being that I'm new to Lucha Underground, that I never watched a program until episode 1 of Season 3, I was immediately hooked, man. I love the atmosphere. I love the vocal crowd. I love the way the old school feel just resonates through your television. It honestly is what ECW was doing in their prime, but in 2016, and they just add so much originality into the show. The promos are great. The storylines, the way they're conducted are great. The characters are great. The in-ring action speaks for itself. Matt Striker is fucking awesome. Vampiro is fucking awesome. I will say one thing about Matt Striker, though. I consider Matt Striker a great voice. I love the way he comes off. I love the way he presents the product. But I will always see, for whatever reason, and this is not a knock on Matt Striker, I will always see him better as a color commentator rather than a play-by-play guy. That's just my honest opinion. You know, I feel he works best because he's that knowledgeable about the in-ring product. I feel that he's knowledgeable about history and facts. I feel like he's knowledgeable as far as calling the story in the ring. I don't think he is a number one guy for a commentator position. I think he works best as a color commentator, like a Corey Graves type. But not taking anything away from Matt Striker, they are very, very good at what they do. Never miss a beat. They always keep me interested, and they're a pleasure to listen to, okay? Now, I watched episode 2 a few days ago, and I was tweeting out. If you guys were, tweeting along with me, I watched it on replay on Daily Motion a few days after it aired, right? It aired on Wednesday. I believe I watched it on Friday. And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching Marty the Moth Martinez and Killshot go at it. And I swear to God, man, these guys went 25 minutes in what had to be the most brutal fucking match I've seen in over a decade. These guys legitimately fucking killed themselves. And I told my brother about this, and he's, he was quite interested in seeing. I showed him some highlights on YouTube about how Killshot ended the fucking match by doing a leapfrog over the ladder with a double foot stomp through a table off the fucking ladder, before that grabbing his dog tags and saying, you know what? Fuck you, Martinez, as he goes right through the table. Absolutely fucking biblical action that you will not see anywhere in any other fucking promotion, man. That reeked of what attracted everybody to the ECW arena in Philadelphia. Absolutely fucking awesome. Marty the Moth was bleeding 2 minutes into the match because I don't know if Killshot took a real gun or if it was a prop, but whatever the fuck he did, it was a machine gun looking prop, and he nailed Marty the Moth over the fucking head, hard way, bleeding all over the place. So, right from there, you knew the match was going to be fucking crazy. And these guys were pulling out all the stops. I would not be shocked if those guys shed years off their life with that fucking match. Unbelievable. And if you guys can find highlights of it on YouTube, I recommend it. If I could find highlights, I will post it in the fucking comment section down below. So that was the main event of last week's show. We come to this week. And obviously, with this week's show, as far as I know, picking up from where we left off on Season 3, we have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Azteca, okay? They start the show off. We see these guys sparring. Apparently, Rey Mysterio is trying to teach Dragon Azteca his ways. He's more like an apprentice. And they discuss their issue with Pentagon Dark. Now, again, I am a noob. I don't know anything about Lucha Underground. I am learning, and I will get to the point where you guys are, hopefully. Okay? You just got to give me some time, and you got to be patient with me. I'm hearing a lot of you guys tell me about Pentagon Dark. Okay? JD, you're going to love him. He's fucking unbelievable. I can't wait. The way you guys are hyping him up, I can't wait to watch Pentagon Dark, man. So, Rey advises letting Pentagon's other enemies destroy him since they have their own battle to fight. Now, in comes Chavo Guerrero. He comes in to interrupt. Azteca charges at him for whatever reason, but Chavo grabs him in a hold. Rey convinces Guerrero to let him go, and Chavo says that he guesses that Rey hasn't taught Dragon Azteca the ways of La Familia, the Guerrero way. So maybe one day he'll teach him the ways of the Guerreros. So we go back into the temple, and then obviously, you know, season 3 has been about Dario Cueto's Wheel of Doom, or Dial of Doom, right? It's a take on the fucking gimmick that Monday Night Raw had, with the fucking spin the wheel shit. But this is a lot better. So every time he spins the wheel, someone gets a title shot against Matanza Cueto, okay? So he spins the wheel. Last week it was the Son of Havoc. He had a decent match with Matanza, and I like both. And I will say something about Matanza in a second. But he spins the wheel, and it lands on the Mac. Now, I knew Matanza. I knew of him. I didn't know who exactly he was or what he looked like. So obviously when I watched Lucha Underground, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Matanza is a fucking beast. He's absolutely fucking monstrous as a human being. His mask fucking adds to the entire shtick. The mask adds to his gimmick, man. This guy looks like a legit fucking killing machine. If you come across this guy somewhere in the fucking fucking suburbs of Mexico, this guy's gonna fucking slit your throat and he's gonna piss on your fucking body. That's what I see when I look at Matanza. This guy's gonna fucking legit kill you with his bare hands. On top of that, the guy is fucking athletic as fuck for a 300-pound giant who can do standing headbutting moonsaults in a standing position. That's a monster. Braun Strowman is not a monster. Matanza is a monster. And obviously he's their champion, so they built him up as a monster should be built up. So this week, it lands on the Mac. And I seen the Mac come out, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is the Mac? You know, he looks overweight. He's got nothing but a fucking red pair of tights on. He legit looks like a jobber. This is my first impression of the Mac. Now, like I said, and this is the third time I'm saying this, I've never watched Lucha Underground before, so I don't know what these guys are capable of. I don't know who they are or what they do. This guy looked like a fucking jobber. Okay? I think the only one that I knew on that fucking Dial of Doom from Cueto, I believe John Morrison is on there. Johnny Mundo. So, the Mac comes out, and the match takes place, and he starts out with the champ, and he's gaining the advantage on Matanza. And as we get deeper and deeper into the match, the Mac, being a 300 fucking pound guy, he's doing topes over the top rope. Guy's fucking flying off the top rope, and he's just athletic as fuck. The guy can move big for a fucking 300 pound guy. But it's all stopped by Matanza, and Matanza's strength is absolutely fucking scary. It is absolutely fucking scary. So, he takes the champ, and he's bringing the champ to the fucking limit. Mac has a very brief moment of offense where he lands a chop and shouts, "That's all you got, bitch?" I laughed out loud with that. Matanza kept working on him. Finally, Mac is able to get to his feet, and they start exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Matanza finds himself outside the ring. Like I said, Mac does a fucking flying dive over the top rope for a 300-pound guy, lands on Matanza. Mac gets Matanza back into the ring and hits a monstrous fucking shoulder charge that would level a fucking building. And then he goes to the top rope for a fucking frog splash. But Matanza gets up and blocks it with his knees, and that's all it takes. And Matanza hits his finishing move, the Wrath of the Gods. If that is the name for a finishing move, I gotta give him a fucking standing ovation, man. I love the name of that finishing move. It's a fucking full body press into a slam. 1, 2, 3. Matanza beat the Mac to retain the Lucha Underground World Championship. And I was impressed by both men. Right out of the gate, man. I knew Matanza was a beast, but he is fucking impressive for a big man. The Mac, same thing. I didn't know who he was. I thought he was a fucking jobber coming out. He looked like one. He certainly shut me up very quick. Guy's athletic as fuck for a 300-pound guy. But Matanza beats him, retains the Lucha Underground Championship. We see a segment here with Son of Havoc watching television with some little Mexican guy, little Mexican midget. I don't know his name. Someone fill me in. He's wearing a white mask. He's got a white outfit. And they're sitting, I believe, at Havoc's house in his mom's basement. And Havoc's mom comes in and says, "Listen, you know, your guest is hungry. I made his favorite treat." And she's got this big box of fucking bagel bites. Made me hungry. I love me some fucking bagel bites. Though I prefer pizza rolls you fucking clowns. So that was pretty much that. I don't know where they're going with that, but Son of Havoc, you know, had a decent showing last week against Matanza in the first match of this Dial of Doom by Dario Cueto. Speaking of Cueto, we see him in his office, and I believe he might have been doing coke. I'm not really sure what the fuck was going on. Mundo comes in. Johnny Mundo, good old Johnny Nitro, comes in, and he is standing alongside Taya, and they demand Dario to spin the wheel and give Mundo a title shot. Dario offers the Trios Championship match to both of them, the Underground. Mundo wants none of it. He doesn't give a fuck about the Trios Championship. He says that he's going home to his dojo, and then he just walks out of Cueto's office. Taya sticks around and offers to take Johnny's place in the Trios title match later. This is something that I knew Lucha Underground was doing, and I'm not a fan of it. We'll talk about it when we get to the main event. Okay? Next match was Cage versus Tejano. And I looked at these two guys. I knew who Cage was, but I didn't know how he maneuvered in the ring. And then Tejano, you know, I didn't know of him. This is the first time I'm seeing him. Cage is impressive. For a first time viewing, Cage is impressive to me. Cage, at the end of that match with Tejano tonight, that's what Ryback should have been in WWE. That's what Ryback should be doing in the ring. Whatever Cage did tonight, and I'm sure he's had better showings in Lucha Underground, that is what Ryback needs to do. That should have been Ryback in World Wrestling Entertainment. So, this match was about to happen, and Dario comes out. Again, I love Dario Cueto, man. Where is Dario Cueto? Where's a guy like Dario Cueto running Monday Night Raw, man? I'm impressed by 3 episodes with this fucking guy. He's my favorite character on the entire fucking show. Where is somebody like Dario Cueto to manage and run Monday Night Raw? Can you imagine Monday Night Raw being run by Dario Cueto? I would fucking love that. Anyway, before the match, Cueto comes out and says that this won't be a unique opportunity, but instead an ultimate opportunity. And the name of the show was actually named after that, The Ultimate Opportunity. They'll need to win to find out what that even means. So, whoever wins this match, they don't know what they're going to get. Dario Cueto left it as a big question mark. So, obviously this match went on, and Cage beat Tejano. 2 big guys. I made a fucking snide remark on social media saying, these 2 guys, Cage and Tejano, they look like they're a fucking walking WWE wellness policy violation. Very well could be true. But, given the fact that I said that sarcastically, and I watched these guys in the ring, these guys are pretty decent for their size, especially Cage. Okay, Cage is very, very athletic for a guy his size, which I've noticed a lot of in Lucha Underground. There's a lot of guys built like Cage who can move like fucking luchadors, which is very impressive to me. You don't see that quite often. Cage goes for a German suplex. He follows up Tejano, locks in an ankle lock. After that, Cage ends up finding the ropes, breaks the hold. Tejano is now in control. He misses a charge in the corner. Once again, it's Cage who takes advantage of the match, hits a spine buster, and at that point, both guys start trading moves. Tejano hits a power slam for a kneel 4. Cage hits a Death Valley driver. Tejano misses a lariat. Cage follows up with a discus clothesline for a 1-2-3. Cage beats Tejano tonight on Lucha Underground. Dario Cueto comes out of the office again and tells Cage that he'll have to beat Tejano 2 more times to get his ultimate opportunity, because this is going to be a best of 5 series. WWE, take lessons, you know? Spring it on us unexpectedly. Don't fucking announce a best of 7 series that we're going to be bored to tears with after one match. You know, come out and randomly just fucking make it a stipulation for 2 guys. Being that Sheamus and Cesaro was already announced, it was kind of fucking one of those deals. Very fucking depressing. But I like what I've seen from these 2 guys. Hopefully, it's a very competitive best of 5 series. I'm very interested to know what this ultimate opportunity is for both Cage and Tejano on Lucha Underground. So, we're back in Dario Cueto's office. He opens an envelope to see pictures of what looks like to be dolls. I didn't know what it looked like. I had to read the spoilers to see what it actually was. A lot of the reports I'm reading said it looked like to be dolls. So, Dragon Azteca comes in. Haven't seen a match by him. I'm hearing a lot of good things about him as well. He says he wants a match with Pentagon Dark. Dario Cueto would rather see him face Black Lotus, who I've never seen before either. You guys got to fill me in, and you guys got to be patient. Black Lotus is back in Hong Kong. He okays the Pentagon Azteca match. Someone named Ricky comes in asking when he's going to have his next match. I don't know who this is. Ricky likes Dario's pictures, which end up back on his desk after he threw them out, which was very odd. He threw them in the trash, and all of a sudden he looks down and they're back on his desk. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But Dario gives these pictures to Ricky, and then he walks out of the office. Chavo Guerrero walks in, and as Ricky is walking out, he says, now's not the time. He wants to be left alone. Chavo walks in, slams the door, and says, we need to talk. And then they go to black. And then obviously the main event, Aerostar, Phoenix, and Drago versus PJ Black, Jack Evans, and Taya for the Trios titles. I like the concept of the Trios titles, man, and I didn't think it was going to work upon first viewing, but normally with six-man tags, they get out of control. It gets a little sloppy, it gets a little messy, a little chaotic. They kept everything contained. It was very well organized for a six-man tag, and especially that they have Trios titles instead of tag team titles. It's different, man, and you got to appreciate that. You got to appreciate that aspect. Now, the one thing upon viewing this, from what I've seen, Drago looks fucking phenomenal. Now, I don't know, based on his history, how he is, but his appearance alone reminds me of something out of a fucking horror movie, man. He looks like Jeepers Creepers. Honestly, when he takes off the fucking top hat, and you see the fucking beast underneath, who's sniffing clothes and fucking flying all over the fucking farmlands looking for fucking corpses to feed on. That's what Drago looks like, man, and he looks fucking fantastic. You know? He's got the Gene Simmons tongue. He's got a great outfit. One that would scare the fucking PG audience on WWE, man. You got the little kids sitting in the audience, they got fucking Drago coming out. This guy would fucking scare everybody shitless. That's how fucking great he looks. Aerostar's a fucking beast. I seen this match, and I kept a keen eye on him. He's athletic as fuck. He knows what he's doing. Phoenix, I really didn't, see much of. I'm hoping to see more of these guys as I watch more episodes of Lucha Underground each and every week. Obviously, I knew PJ Black. I knew of Taya. And Jack Evans was the first time of me seeing Jack Evans. But the match really ended because of dissension between PJ Black and Jack Evans. There was some kind of dissension going there. Jack Evans was a fucking clown this entire match. Couldn't take off his jacket. And then he didn't want to make a tag to PJ Black. And PJ Black literally chopped him as hard as Ric Flair would chop someone in his prime to make a fucking tag. So Jack Evans is like, what the fuck are you doing? They're getting into a little fucking back and forth. Jack Evans boycotts the match, and he sits out right by the ring announcer, Indian style, on the fucking concrete. He's got nothing to do with this match anymore. So, ideally, it was supposed to be a six-man tag, 3-on-3. It becomes a 3-on-2. He makes his own team handicapped. So, Jack doesn't want to get back in the match. PJ tags himself out. And this match comes down to Taya. And let me tell you something, man. Taya was doing some chain moves, some fucking chain wrestling with Drago. And I'm looking at this and I'm laughing. I'm like, she's better than some of the men on WWE's main roster. It's fucking unbelievable. So, they go back and forth at it. PJ goes up for a springboard off the corner. Aerostar, and it's tough for me to describe this though, but Aerostar and PJ Black were both on the top rope. Now, I'm not talking about the turnbuckle. PJ Black was about to do a springboard off the top rope, and then Aerostar on the opposite corner does the same thing and counters with a Hurricane Rana. And then he hits a springboard codebreaker on PJ to cover PJ Black for the win. 1, 2, 3. Very, very entertaining match. At the end of the match, we see Johnny Mundo come in and attack the champs alongside Taya. Jack continues to be a fucking pussy on the outside, and Sexy Star comes out to raid the ring and help the champs as Mundo and his gang retreat to the back, and then Lucha Underground is done as far as wrestling goes. Now, my favorite part of the show is the interaction between Dario Cueto and Rey Mysterio. Now, we talked about Rey Mysterio and Dragon Azteca Jr. They're getting in a little back and forth with Chavo Guerrero in the beginning of the show, right? So, Dragon Azteca wants Pentagon Dark. Dario penciled it in because this is what Dragon Azteca wanted. So Rey Mysterio is in Cueto's office now, and Dario tells Mysterio about Azteca's demand for a match against Pentagon Dark. Dario says that he changed the match to Dragon Azteca versus Shava, where the winner gets Pentagon Dark. Then El Jefe makes Rey Mysterio the special guest referee. And what I liked most about this show is the interaction between Cueto and Mysterio. All it did to me is made me fucking smile and laugh about how great the fucking storyline is and how great the interactions are between the individuals they're trying to portray on television. He penciled it in, and then he picks up a pen. Says, you know what? I'm going to pencil it in. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to write it in pen so that it's permanent. I love that, man. I absolutely love that. That's something I do. That's something that a smart-ass motherfucker would do. And I respect that, and I appreciate that type of writing, man. I love it. And this episode of Lucha Underground is over. I honestly could go for another hour. I think 1 hour is too short. But that's what they want, man. They want you coming back for more. And that's why they've developed a hardcore, rabid audience. But I am enjoying what I'm seeing so far, man. In 3 episodes of Season 3, I'm going to try my best. And I watched all the highlights, man. I watched those videos on YouTube. Lucha Underground Season 1 in 37 minutes. It's tough to decipher what's going on because I don't know who anybody is. I'd rather watch the full episodes in their entirety, back to back to back, so I understand the storylines. Who got killed? Who Pentagon Dark is? How Matanza won the title? Why did fucking Dario Cueto get arrested? I'm going to find this out, but if you guys want to help me out and let me know what's going on and fill me in as I get caught up here in Season 3 and I start enjoying this more and more each and every week, you know, you guys let me know, man. But I hope you enjoyed the review. And what we're going to do is I'm going to keep the Lucha Underground stuff on YouTube. I might upload this to my podcast on Sunday. If you guys who want to listen to that and take it with you during the week, I might do that. I'm going to save the NXT stuff for the podcast on iTunes. I'm not going to do it on YouTube. There's no reason for me to talk about it tonight. It's mainly going to be about Lucha Underground on Wednesdays. Because I really, really want to get into this. With the Cruiserweight Classic over, I'm going to need to fill that void with something. Obviously, NXT is there, and they had a great show tonight. We will talk about that. But I'm enjoying what I'm seeing with Lucha Underground. If you guys want to see this weekly, you guys let me know. And you guys sound off in the comments down below right here on my channel. That is your Lucha Underground review. Very impressed so far. I can't wait for more. And I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about the review. Did I do a good job? Should I just shut the fuck up and not talk about Lucha Underground? Let me know what you guys want to see. Until then, I'm JD. I will be back with more great content, man. Tomorrow's a big day. Batman Telltale Episode 2. The first match in a best-of-7 between Mr. 9 to 5 and Chris Danger. What is going to happen? Wait till you see this one. And then Friday, obviously, off the script. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys right back here for more great content right here on YouTube.com. I'll talk to you guys later.